Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Simpleng storya lang itong pag-uusapan natin. We have another federal court decision to talk about. This involves rather an applicant applying for a student permit. Okay, nag-submit po siya ng peking bank statement for her proof of funds. So obviously, na-refuse. Okay? Kailangan pa bang sabihin, i-remind ang mga tao, no? Huwag kayong mag-submit ng kahit anong peking dokumento sa inyong mga application. Okay? Especially sa mga panahon ngayon, I don't get it, no? O siguro talagang malalakas ang loob ng iba na kahit na nakakapanood na tayo ng mga balita tungkol sa paghihigpit ng IRCC, sa pag-assess ng mga applications, meron pa rin siguro mga gumagawa nito, no? Kakaiba sila, no? Iba. Okay? Anyway, ang nangyari dito, guys, would you believe it? The applicant, sinisi ba yung bangko? Nakakaloka, di ba? Sinisi niya yung bangko, nagkamali daw yung bangko. Okay? Nung sinubukan niyang depensahan itong fake bank statement niya, no? Anyway, puntahan na po natin ang ating federal court decision. Bago lang po ito, issued January 22, 2026. Okay. So, the applicant is from Iran. Ito na nga. Nag-apply ng study permit to complete a master's program sa University of Saskatchewan. As part of her study permit application, syempre, meron ngang proof of funds para patunayan na kaya niyang sustentuhan ang kanyang tuition fee at syempre, sustentuhan yung kanyang sarili for other living expenses while she studies. Eto na, dalawa po ang bank statement na binigay niya, 2 different banks. Siyempre, itong IRCC officer, i-verify po yan, okay? Kung genuine ang inyong sinubmit. Nag-submit ng verification request sa Bank Mascan, okay, for one of the bank statements to confirm the authenticity of the bank statement. At ito, napakasimple, direct to the point ang sinagot ng bangko. Let me read it to you. This is to certify that the issued account balance certificate to Miss Mirabadi is not genuine. Ayan o. Is not genuine. O, in fairness, tignan nyo, binigyan pa rin ng PFL si applicant, okay? Binigyan pa rin ng pagkakataong ipaliwanag kung ano ang nangyari. So, the officer issued a PFL advising the applicant na, hoy, peke. Peke raw, sabi ng bangko mo, yung binigay mong bank statement. At sinabihan ng applicant na, if you were found to have engaged in misrepresentation, she may be inadmissible to Canada. Usually, kapag ikaw ay na-declare na inadmissible because of misrepresentation, alam ko, 5 years. 5-year ban usually ang pinapataw sa'yo, no? Okay. Sumagot naman si applicant. At sabi nito, pumunta nga raw siya sa bangko niya to seek a clarification. Bakit niyo sinabing peke? At sinabi raw ng bank employee, umano, she was informed by a bank employee that the authenticity concerns likely stemmed from a clerical or system error. Okay. She said that the bank advised her to obtain a new bank statement to resolve the matter. Okay. Now, I am uncertain, hindi po nakalagay dito kung si IRCC officer ay i-verify itong sinasabing pag-uusap ni applicant doong sa bank employee, no? So, ang ginawa ngayon ni applicant, guys, kumuha siya ng bagong bank statement. Kasi yun daw, umano ang sinabi nga sa kanya nung nakausap niya sa bangko, no? Magsabit ka na lang ng iba ng bago. Naniniwala ba kayo una sa lahat na talagang clerical or system error ang nangyari, no? So, ito na. Okay? Nagsubmit siya ng bagong mga bank statement. Dinescribe niya ito as replacements for the original ones that she submitted. Ito ang nangyari. The new statement from Bank Mascan showed a balance which was about 35,500. Ano ang naging problema? Aba, mas mababa daw yung naging balanse nito o yung balanse niyan doon sa original na sinubmit. So, bakit ganon? Biglang lumiit ang iyong proof of funds. Tapos, mula naman doon sa isang bangko, kumuha rin siya ng bago, no? Melly Bank naman. Mas mataas naman. Show the balance about $9,460 higher than the original statement provided. Okay, so obviously the IRCC took issue with this. These documents may be real, genuine now, pero syempre magtatanong sila, bakit ngayon na mas maliit ang sinasabi mo? O magkaiba pala, yung isa kasi mas maliit, yung isa naman mas malaki, yung balance, compared to the original ones that you submitted. So in short, ni-refuse on that basis. Not just because she submitted new original bank statements, mabubura na yung ginawa niyang pamimeke noong una. Ito pa nga yung malungkot dito, no? Sabi ng IRCC, actually, yung sinabit din niya na pangalawa, sapat na proof of funds yun. Okay? In her situation. You know, lower than originally reported, but still exceeded what was required for the purpose of a study permit. Diba? What if she just submitted the original ones to begin with? She might have gotten the approval. Okay. Siguro ang naisip niya, no? Hindi sapat na okay lang. Dapat sobrahan ko, no? Baka ganun ang naisip niya. Kaya tinaasan niya yung balanse, no? But, in the end, hindi po siya pinagbigyan ng IRCC. Ayun, napatawan siya ng 5-year ban. You will remain inadmissible to Canada for a period of 5 years. And the judge also sided with the IRCC. Okay, kasi nagpunta nga ng korte itong applicant. The decision is reasonable according to the judge. Meron pang hinighlight dito, no, na statement si officer. Okay. Sabi dito, had the financial documents been assessed as genuine, it could have led the officer to be satisfied that the applicant had sufficient funds to support the duration of their stay. Okay. Sana sinabit na lang niya yung totoo nung unang-una pa lang. Pwede naman na. Sayang. Okay? So again, guys, this is a reminder. Do not submit fake documents dahil talagang chine-check po ang mga yan. Okay, this is an article from the Government of Canada official website talking about the consequences of immigration and citizenship fraud. Nakasulat dito, yung mga maaari ninyong pekein, huwag nyong gagawin. Okay, because it is considered fraud to submit these either false or altered. Okay? Pwedeng totoong meron kang account dun sa bangko, pero binago mo yung balanse. Ganun din yun, pamimeki pa rin yun. Kasama dyan, guys, ang pagiging truthful dapat sa inyong medical exam. Nakasulat dito. You must answer questions about existing and previous medical conditions truthfully, providing false medical documents, misrepresenting information or providing false information to the physician during your medical exam is also considered fraud. Okay? Don't forget, nakasulat dyan. And these are the possible consequences of your actions. If you do this, your application will be refused. Pwede ka maban ng 5 years. Pwede ka magkaroon ng permanent record of fraud sa IRCC. Your temporary or permanent resident status or Canadian citizenship could be taken away. Imagine, sabi mo nang nakalusot ka nung una. Okay, tapos naging PR ka and Canadian citizenship, pero may nagsumbong sa'yo. Tapos, ayan, imbestigahan ka, nalaman na yung pinakauna mo palang application dito na nakapasok ka, let's say, na temporary, meron kang pineke doon, your PR and Canadian citizenship could be taken away. Okay, guys, I am reading from the official site of Canada. Okay? You could be removed from Canada, banned from applying for citizenship or for 5 years. Okay. Before I end, no? Guys, meron notice akong bago dito sa website. Okay? Kasi this is not the first time I went to this. Meron silang nilagay dito. May hina-highlight ngayon ng IRCC. May note, no? Sa bandang taas. In bold letters, you are responsible for all the information in your application, even if a representative completes it for you. This is in a way, to me, ang pagkaintindi ko dito, hindi mo pwedeng sabihin na o isisi sa iyong consultant, okay? Sakaling may mali sa iyong application. Ultimately, it is your application kahit pa kumuha ka ng paid advice. Masaklap, ano? Masaklap. Parang it appears, parang may protection yung mga abusadong consultant o yung mga consultant na nagbibigay ng maling advice. Diba? Kasi, again, sino ba ang mare-refuse? Si applicant. Si applicant ang mare-refuse. Okay, the issue of whether or not the consultant's license should be revoked is a totally different matter that will be handled by, I guess, CICC. Yan yung parang college or organization supervising itong mga consultant, no? Iba pang issue yun. But as far as IRCC is concerned, when it comes to your applications, you are responsible, for all the information in your application. Okay, so, short but sweet ang ating episode. I will end this here. I look forward to reading your comments. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!